Hey guys, it's Antionette, the Delaware blogger. I'm coming to you today with a special location. I'm here with Webmaster Ray in his beer room. And you guys know that I love my beer. But not only do I love just a certain brand of beer, I am in total awe of what's going on in this room, and I just want you guys to just get a glimpse of this and have Webmaster Ray tell us a little bit about the beer room, how he started, and then I'm going to show you he was actually written up in a Delaware magazine, so we're going to write all about that as well. So Webmaster Ray, good morning. Tell us a little bit about what our viewers are seeing.
Good morning and welcome to the beer room. I will start out that I started collecting beer bottles when most people would actually stop. I started after college in the 80s when I was in the Navy, and I shared an apartment with two other guys on the same ship, and so naturally there was a lot of beer around. Well, I started saving the bottles because there were so many different varieties, and one thing led to another, and I just continued to collect and collect and collect. Now, when people come to the beer room, I'm a web designer, and so people come here to meet me a lot of times for the first time. Before we even sit down, people start asking questions like, how many do you have? Do you collect just certain varieties? Have you drank them all? And so it's a great icebreaker for my business. Some of the most important things is my collection is, I think, extra special to me because I don't have a rule that I had to drink them all, but I invite people to donate bottles to the collection. So I have a lot of friends that enjoy looking for bottles and giving them to me. And so because of that, many of the bottles have a special meaning. They're all personal to some degree. And so a lot of the bottles, I have people that have brought back bottles from China, from Kenya. I've had a couple people who brought back bottles on their honeymoon, if you can imagine that. So I continue to collect, and it's actually significant to the business that I'm in. I've been a web designer for 11 years, and when the internet started, a very, very interesting thing is when people got their ISP, when they connected to the first time, the big thing back then was you could have your own website. And so as many people just tried to think of, well, what am I going to use for a website? And so the beer bottles were a natural thing for that. So I listed the collection on the website, I wrote a little bit about them, I posted photos. And from working with that website, I enjoyed it, and so I eventually turned it into a career, and I've been a web designer for 11 years. And so my customers come and meet me, and we sit in the beer room to talk about their websites. So it's totally integrated into my business. And so now people will ask me questions, or I'll have customers that will look for bottles when they can donate them to me. But it's something I get a kick out of, even though it's not really a big part of my life. But when people come in, they're kind of impressed with it.
So, Webmaster Ray, the question that's on my mind, and probably a lot of other people's mind, is what is your favorite? What was your favorite brew? Or do you have a favorite brew? Or do you even drink beer anymore?
Yeah, I'll give you a couple favorites and a couple particular bottles that are special. My original favorite beer was Dos Equis, because I lived out in California for about 12 years. But really, I'm not as much of a beer connoisseur as you would expect for collecting beer bottles, but the easy answer for favorite beer is anything that's German, because German beer is just great, and I prefer wheat beer. But I'll, like a lot of people, I'll drink just about anything, and since I don't drink a heck of a lot, I do like having a good beer.
Awesome. Now you have been written up in a magazine. I think what do we have here? We have
Living Well magazine. It's a free magazine in the Delaware area. It's found in doctors' offices and bank lobbies and things like that. One of my web design customers happens to write for this magazine, and she was here and we were discussing her website, and when she came to the beer room, she said, wow, this would make a nice article. And she wrote up an article on me um, that I love, and I show it to a lot of the people that come to the house so that they can see that I'm totally legit. One interesting thing about beer bottles, cans are more popular to collect. Probably the reason is that they're so much lighter, because beer bottles are extremely heavy as a hobby. So I've been, over time, besides bottles, I've been forced to collect cans because some people bring me cans.
Now, I remember, I'm not sure exactly what year it was, when Delaware stopped giving back like the nickel bottles, which was kind of a disappointment, because a lot of people would save the bottles, take them back to, obviously, to the liquor store to get their return. Are there any states that still give you a percentage back when you return a bottle?
That's right, yeah. Delaware stopped returning the deposit about 8 years ago or so. Many states still do, and so you see on the beer labels it still says 5 cents, 2 cents, 10 cents, whatever. I know New York in particular, you save them and bring them back, and so that means that unfortunately the value of my collection has dropped considerably here in Delaware. It's worth more in other states, because the truth is the individual bottles aren't a real valuable collector's item, and the reason is probably because it's just not a widely supported hobby. Not a lot of people collect bottles.
Yeah, I remember, like you said, you started out after college, and I do remember that was one of the rites of passage in college. My roommate and I actually collected beer cans, and we would stack them in the window. So those days, I remember those as well. But this is a very impressive collection that you have. I'm going to take pictures. I want you guys.
I need to show you one bottle in particular since you're here.
Okay.
That is one of the most special bottles in the collection. This bottle was because of my website, I get emails from all over the country and all over the world, people asking the value of bottles.
Okay.
Well, somebody apparently, came to my website, and I received an email. This was in like 2008, a while ago,
Mm-hmm.
and this was a person that had a bottle. He emailed me. He said, "Look, I've had this bottle for a long time, and I'm looking for a good home for it." So this particular bottle, this gentleman had gotten when he was in the service, and he was stationed in Germany back in the 50s. And he kept a bottle as a souvenir because the bottle was from a particular brewery. Basically, each brew pub brewed their own beer. So this bottle was one of his mementos that he brought back with him. Well, he held it for years and years, and after time, his wife was always asking him to get rid of the bottle.
Wow.
But he could not throw it away, so he wanted to find a good home for it. So he emailed me. I said, "Yeah, I can't pay you for it, but I will, I'll hold it. It'll be part of my collection." And he was happy to hear that. He said, no money is necessary. So the even more exciting was that when I received it, he happened to live in Baltimore, but he shipped it up. It was packed with so much love and care. It was packed and repacked and bubble foam and all kinds of packaging. And so that it just makes me appreciate this bottle.
That is awesome. And you know what? Look at that. Let's take a look at that lid. Let's take a look at the top.
Yeah, the porcelain lid.
Look at that. You will never see that ever again. That is amazing. And a good story that goes behind it.
That's right.
That's awesome. But you have an amazing collection here. We were in the beer room, but this is some of the overflow I want to show you of other bottles. And again, do you know of others that have a collection as vast or maybe anywhere near?
I have found, I've gone online and searched around, and there are people that have much larger collections, not many. I have about 1,500 bottles.
Okay.
But I've found people that have thousands of beer bottles. And so most people, they'll have to store them in their garage or things like that.
Right. Well, Webmaster Ray, I do appreciate you just giving us a few minutes of your time. And let's take a last quick tour around the beer room here. I want people to go check out Webmaster Ray's website, which I will leave on my blog, which is dellblogger.com. As we kick off the spring, or at the end of the season, heading into baseball season, ending football season, we love our beers. I have had a wonderful day here, and I'm just like in awe of all these bottles. So again, this is Antionette Blake, the Delaware blogger, coming to you from Webmaster Ray's Beer Room. And check out my blog to read more about not only his beer collection, but his services as a webmaster. Oh, and don't forget, you always need an app. So that's what we're going to talk about. An app, there's always an app for that. And that is also part of Webmaster Ray's specialty. So we'll be chatting soon. It's Antionette. See ya.